still remember that day that Simon dropped by the surf blanks factory in Brookvale. I believe it was a Thursday morning in late October of 1980. It was actually my first job out of school, and I was working there as a fin maker for Midget. Suddenly I get this tap on the shoulder, and there was Big Simon with some fin templates in his hand. He told me to make two of the smaller ones foiled like twin fins, and the larger one foiled as a single. I told him they'd be ready in the morning and proceeded to get cracking on what would become the very first set of thruster fins. This scene actually repeated itself a couple more times over the next few weeks, and that was it. Got no real feedback from Simon, being the quiet achiever that he is, until a few months later when I bumped into him in a nightclub and asked him how it was going. He said, "Going well, Greg. I'll be using them in the competitions next year," which was 1981, the history-making year. A lot of people wondered why Simon didn't whack a patent on the design of his thruster fins, and there have been a couple of attempts to lay restitution to the matter over the years. $1 for every thruster board you've owned, sent to the big fella, is the one that I remember the most. When Simon was asked about this in a radio interview, a caller rang in who was actually a contributor in the Give Simon a Dollar campaign. He asked how many people had paid their homage to the thruster, and Simon answered in a way only he could. 10 million. 10 million people. Asked if that was legit, did 10 million people really give you $1? Simon replied, "No, not yet, but I'm still waiting." If Simon was the father of the thruster, the next person in line for platitudes has to go to the grandfather of the thruster, 70s surfer, shaper Frank the Phantom Williams. Simon has always acknowledged Frank as his inspiration for the thruster after seeing him emerge from the surf at Narrabeen one day with a small stabiliser fin set in between his twin fins to provide a greater control for his board. Well, it's been 40 years since that first set of thruster fins rolled off the production line, and surfing has progressed incredibly since that time. It was Larry Bertleman back then who famously said, "Anything is possible." Today, watching Kelly, Toledo, John and Medina, what they can do on their thruster boards is really only something we ever dreamed about back in 1980.
The fin area is kind of like the engine of the surfboard. It's where you get the hold on the wave face. Without the fin, you could imagine you just slide around and it'd be uncontrollable. So the fin gives you direction and your power base from which you can get all the speed through your turn. I think the big thing about three fins compared to twin fins or the single fin is that the thruster gives you speed in the turn, but you hold that speed throughout the length of your turn, and you can connect it better into your next turn. So you get more speed, more drive, more flow through the turn. And from the very first board that I made, I could feel the difference in performance. I felt it was a 20% improvement in performance above single fins and twin fins. So I was pretty excited, as you can imagine. And whenever you get a design improvement like that, it benefits not only the guys at the top level, it benefits everyone in surfing. And that's probably the most satisfying thing about being the originator of this design.
40 years on, Simon and the thruster are still going strong. So I thought it was about time to chime in with my story as the original fin maker. Sure, a small part of history, but one that I'll keep on telling my grandkids. Well, at least until they get tired of listening to me rave on about the time I made the first set of thruster fins. Fins that changed the surfing world.